Okay, class, this week we are going to work with a new survey. So before we get into the PowerPoint, let's look at the survey and know exactly what you're going to be dealing with. So this is a telephone survey of school principals, and the entire survey was given, but we're only going to concern ourselves this week with the first 5 questions. All right, so you're going to pay attention here with 1B. You'll see this in your data set. You'll see each of these in number 2 as a variable, as a yes/no variable, and then you'll see question 3, question 4, and then also question 5, with each of these being caring citizenship and so forth, being a variable. So you've got a whole lot of yes/no variables. And let's take a look at the data set as you are going to get it. So this is what it will look like when you open Character Education Survey. All right, and so you'll see where I have labeled I've given you the ID, the level of the school, elementary, middle, high school, the district, and then here it starts with development. So is your school currently developing or implementing a character education program? And that number 4, development, would be that. And then you can see here, starting with planning ways to communicate, involve. Here 3 is implement, hosting is host, talking is talk, building community census is this abbreviation for consensus. All right, here we has your school identified elements. So here's ID element right here. Number 4 is, are these character education elements also adopted by your school district? So we see adopt DST. All right. And then here, starting with caring, we have care, then citizenship is citizen, civic virtue is civic, courage is courage, and then I haven't labeled anymore. You will want to label these all the way down to trustworthiness, and you can stop there. All right, and so let's go through now. Let's take a look at the PowerPoint. Oops. All right, so this week you're going to create something called a code book. All right, and then you're going to clean up your variable view in SPSS, and then you're going to perform cross-tabulations. All right, so to create your codebook, the codebook is a reference for you and others to use to identify and notate the location of your survey data. It's going to be very important because this is something that you're going to give to your client at the end of the semester. Not only are you going to give them the data, but you're going to give them the codebook. And the codebook is somewhat like the variable view in SPSS, but it's a lot nicer in the sense that it's a document or a PDF where you can just open and you can look at what are the variables, what are the possible responses for those variables, and so forth. So it tells you the name of the variable, its length, its column location, and some descriptive notes concerning labels and labels for values. All right, so as I just mentioned, we're going to work with question 1B, 2, 3, and 4 from the survey. And so here I have started the code book for you for these items. So here we've got ID level, or ID variable is only 3 characters long. It's in column 1. And what is it? It is the survey identification number. Notice that for level, here I told you this was level of the school. The length is just going to be 1 character. It is in column 2. And here I'm telling you that level of school is 1 equals elementary, 2 equals middle school, 3 equals high school. All right, and you can see how starting with development, going down to citizenship, I'm telling you that, I'm giving you kind of, 2 to 3 words of what this variable represents from the question and the survey, and then how it is measured 0, 1 for no, yes. All right, so task 1, you're going to name the remaining variables associated with question 5. You're going to specify the variable columns they occupy and provide descriptive notes concerning labels and labels for value, very similar to what I did already in the codebook. So again, one of the things you're going to turn into me is this table. It could be either a Word document, or it could be in Excel, or it could be a PDF, however you want to do it. But you're going to give me this table that I have already started developing for you, but you're going to add all the items from question 5 in the survey and give me their length, their column number, and some notes concerning what they represent and how they're measured. All right, once you have done your code book, the second thing you want to do is go into SPSS and create your clean variable view in your data editor. All right, so right now when you open up here, let me come out of this for a second. Let's actually pull up the data. So notice here, right now, when you just open up the data, there's nothing. There's just ID, level, district. There's no information whatsoever. You're going to use your codebook to type in what the label is. So here you would type in survey identification number, and then, and then under values, there's really none for ID, but for level, you would say level of school as the label, and for values, you would say 1 is elementary, 2 is middle, and 3 is high school. All right. So again, that is task 2 for this week. All right, and then the next thing we're going to do is calculate crosstabulations. This is probably going to be important in your final project with your client. They're probably going to want to see potentially crosstabulations by gender or race. And so this is a way that we can do that. So for what we're working with right now, we can calculate crosstabulations of school level with activities in the survey. This allows us to look at any differences in the character education activities across the various school levels. All right, so in Excel, we want to look at level of school by community and by involvement. All right, so let's go out of here and let me actually show you what you're going to do. All right, you are going to go into Analyze, Descriptive, Crosstabs. All right, and our level would be the row. I believe that's how I did it. Let me double check. Yep. The level is the row, and then we've got community and involvement as the column. All right. And the only other thing that we want to do is right now it's just going to kind of give us overall representations and as far as percentages go. Let's actually click on statistics. Nope, not statistics. Nope. All right, under cells, we want row, column, and total percentages. All right, so again, we actually want to see our row percentages and our column percentages, not just the total. All right, and again, I'm showing you that in Excel here. So again, under cell, we want all the percentages, and let's click OK. All right, and so here, this is just the number of cases that were processed. So we had 1 missing for a total of 25 cases. Here is our level community crosstab. All right, so remember community here, 0 is no, 1 is yes. And our level of education is elementary, middle school, high school. So we can see that in elementary, we're a little bit split, right? We have 2 no's, 9 yeses. All right, whereas as we get to high school and middle school, we only see yeses. All right, with involvement, it seems to stay about the same. We've only got one no for each level of education, with most people saying yes. And again, with these percentages, here the within level is giving us just our row percentages. So obviously there's 11 total here, where 1 is 9% and 10 is roughly 91%. All right, whereas the percent within involved, so this is giving us, this 33.3% is giving us the column percentage, right? So there's 1 here, which is 33%, 1 here, which is 33%, and 1 here, which is 33%. All right, so just so you can read those percentages. All right, and again, just showing you the crosstab table.